Okay, I'm not gonna say that this video is only made because I wanted to show off this cup that someone gave me. Harley Quinn, look at it, it's so cool, love it, it's like iridescent and stuff. Love it, love it, love it. But, okay, that's not the real point. Okay, the real thing. Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. I like this movie. Okay, the movie was good. Okay, so I watched Suicide Squad, loved it, but to me, I'm not a DC Comics fan. I liked Teen Titans and I think that was it. Batman, I've never watched them. Joker, I should have watched it, I'll watch it. I swear on my life I'll watch it later. But I didn't watch it. It did definitely interest me because the trailer was phenomenal. I didn't watch Aquaman. I should have. Jason Momoa looks like he's a nice guy. But aside from that, I'm not really into DC movies. And just like, even like the Titans show, Flash show, any of that, I don't watch them. And I feel bad for that. Is Flash part of the DC? I think so. I do watch Marvel movies. It's not because I have a preference. Like, I think I just watch Marvel movies because it's a family thing. And DC movies are notoriously bad or notoriously known for being not the best movies and not doing too great in the box office, which I know doesn't dictate whether a movie is good or bad, but that's what I like. Suicide Squad, I liked it because it was fun and enjoyable, and I did enjoy it. Like, it was just a movie as a pastime, and to me, to watch a movie and enjoy it. I haven't read the comics. I've never read a comics for Marvel or DC, so to me, I'm just one of those people who comes in from out of nowhere who see these movies because of pop culture telling me that they're good and them being popular. So, Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn. I just wanted to watch this because, first of all, I love Margot Robbie. I watched her in I, Tonya, watched her in Suicide Squad. I'm gonna watch her in that one, like, Queen Elizabeth movie or whatever. I just like Margot Robbie. And so I like the character Harley Quinn too. I always have. I don't know why. Even I haven't watched anything else. I know that she's like a lesbian or something, or bi, my bad. She's been with like Ivy and everything. That doesn't really matter to me. I'm glad that there's representation and she's cool. I just like her character. I liked her voice. But, so, the film was good. When I look back on it and I try to tell you what the story is, I can't tell you that the story was good. But, Venom was said that it was an awful movie, but it was a lot of fun to watch. And that's how I think this movie was. I like Harley Quinn. I like the story arc that she went through. It wasn't as, like, like feminism and femme fatales and all this as I expected it to be, but despite that, I enjoyed the film all the less. So, the story is, she broke up with the Joker, she's walking around, she's going through all the people that hate her. Also, there was a lot of little clips where she, like, shows the person and how she offended them and why they hate her. So funny. Some of them were so funny. It was just good. So, what happened in the story? I don't know that I can really tell you. She breaks up with the Joker. One of the guys that hates her is, this movie's rated R, by the way, so you're not all going to be able to watch it. There were some parts that it didn't really need to be graphic for, because there was not very many situations where it was graphic, and those parts that were graphic weren't really pivotal to the storyline. I'm sure you could have just censored it in the way that, like, by having it happen off screen, and it wouldn't have been bad. So I don't know why they made this rated R. One thing that I did like about this movie, though, is that it is produced by Margot Robbie, who plays Harley Quinn, and you can really tell the difference because she isn't as hypersexualized as she was in Suicide Squad. And there was this post that I saw that was talking about, like, I don't know how to describe the difference between the male gaze and the female gaze, but they, like, thoroughly explained why this is so different. Like, they didn't hypersexualize her, they didn't have her in skimpy clothing, they didn't have her in pretty long hair that, like, flowed and, like, was perfectly lining the face and made her look all nice and boobily and all this. She wasn't in short shorts. She wasn't being literal fan service to people who went to watch the movie only because they thought they were going to ogle her, basically. But this movie was good. It was nice. It goes through Harley Quinn, all the people who hate her, because she goes through, like, introductions early on, and kind of sometimes later in the movie, which I'm like, I don't think we should have introductions this far in the movie, but I guess that's fine. She ends up protecting one of the people that everyone's trying to go after afterwards, and she pairs up with the main bad guy, and she's like, okay, here, I'll do it for you, just don't kill me. If after that, if you're sure, then fine, go ahead. But for now, I can help you. I know this place like the back of my hand. I'll help, if you just don't hurt me. And so she ends up befriending the little girl who everyone's after, and then this random villainess comes in. She doesn't do anything to Harley, really, at any point. She's just trying to get revenge. One of them was kind of in cahoots, or kind of the side hand to the main villain in this movie, but then she becomes a bird of prey, and then one of them's the cop who was after Harley well, she was just a cop, and she becomes a bird of prey at the end, and so does the main first villainess who's trying to get revenge. Also, the villainess, I'm pretty sure, I swear on my life, I didn't look this up, but I know just because of her face and her voice, she's the girl. Do you remember Sky High? Do you remember Sky High, the movie, the Disney Channel original movie Sky High? The enemy girl that the Will Stronghold was into, Gwen, was it? That main enemy girl in that, I'm pretty sure she's the huntress from the Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. One complaint that I do have about this movie, though, is that Birds of Prey, the Birds of Prey really weren't, I can't say they weren't pivotal in this, because they were literally in the story entirely, but I did see remarks about this before the movie was made, that it feels more like a Harley Quinn movie, and it definitely was. I think it was more of a Harley Quinn movie, but in their defense, as I admitted, I am a person who has not watched these films prior. Like, I don't read comics or anything, so I didn't know what the Birds of Prey were. I don't know anything else besides Harley Quinn, and since Harley Quinn was already such a popular character, it makes more sense for it to be a Harley Quinn movie, because they're trying to also appeal to people who aren't comic book fans, like with Marvel. I mean, I know Marvel. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people who watch the Marvel movies haven't read the comics, so, you know. But I think it was nice that they did market it more as a Harley Quinn movie, or that it did come across that way, because that is someone that I am familiar with in pop culture. So it makes more sense for that to be the focal point. Birds of Prey, they didn't really play too much of an attention. They didn't really matter so much in the story, but it did have their origin story convoluted around their interaction with Harley Quinn, so it did make some sensible, reasonable sense as to how they were tied to the movie, because like they were kind of the enemy, and now they all femme buddies battling it out together against the main bad guy. And I think that's kind of it. I don't really have many notes about the story because I couldn't really tell you much. I just know that a lot of it was Harley Quinn talking about people, and then there was more time skips back and forth that I was comfortable with. But I have to admit, some of the ways that they did it was very humorous, so I did like some of that. It wasn't like all the time, but it was nice. It was a nice light-hearted movie. I don't really know why it was R-rated, because there was like 2 points where like blood was shown, but aside from that, there wasn't really a necessity for that. I heard that I don't know if the soundtrack was made just for this movie, or like, I mean, if all the songs that were made for this movie were just original songs. I think that's something I heard, which makes me feel so much cooler, because like I heard that they were all really good songs. There were some songs that did play during this movie, and I felt cool. They did feel nice, and they did feel like I liked them. But I'll probably listen to the soundtrack, and I'll probably fact check that later. You can tell me that I'm wrong, because I'm not going to correct it in the video. But I'm pretty sure I heard that all the songs were made for this film specifically. Like all the songs that were in this score were specifically made for this movie. They just sound like pop music, but they were good. One of the people has a power in the end, which is weird because I swore. I don't know. I thought people who... I don't know, I always assume people in DC aren't really superpower people. They're just people with gimmicks. Like Batman being a superhero with nothing and just having martial arts and everything. And like the Joker, I don't even know what the Joker does. And like the Riddler, I don't know what he does. I thought he was just a normal person who puts people in traps and stuff and has riddles. Like I thought they were just people who could do things, not people who had powers. But I guess that chick has power, and I guess Poison Ivy has power, and the Flash and other people. I don't know what the constraints of powers is here, because Superman's part of this too, and he's just like God amongst people. I don't know. But it was a great movie, fun movie nonetheless. I love Margot Robbie. One thing that's been annoying me recently is that I've seen. So Birds of Prey came out first, right? And the Sonic movie came out Valentine's Day, and I've heard that people are making fake accusations who have not seen the Sonic movie, and they're trying to deter people from seeing the Harley Quinn movie. I don't know why anyone would do that, but I hear there's just a lot of hate. They're like, oh, I was watching Sonic the movie, and then I could hear through the walls, this and that. And I'm like, I don't care. you're watching your movie. Yeah, like maybe that one was set to be louder or something, or it just sounds louder because there's more action going on in that. But don't try to discredit a film, or don't try to make people not watch a film just because you have your own biases against it. Or like you're watching a kids movie. I understand that you're watching a kids movie. So like first of all, why grow up? You're probably taking your kid. If you're like, I'm sure your kid probably isn't complaining about what's happening in the next theater movie. But I feel like it's only the adults who have some weird hatred towards Harley Quinn in general, I think. I don't know. I've heard it, and it's been annoying. I don't like thinking that people would just deliberately be like, oh yeah, this movie, don't go watch it because I was watching Sonic, and it ruined my experience. I don't care. I don't care about your experience watching Sonic. That doesn't, it's not the movie's fault that one, you don't like the movie, and two, it was just loud because there was action happening. I've heard other films. When I was watching Midsummer, I heard films and explosions going on from the other theaters. That's not my fault. That's not their fault. That didn't make me be like, oh wow, I hate whatever movies. I'm gonna go outside after this movie, check what movie was playing right next to me, and tell you not to watch it online because it ruined my experience watching this piss poor movie. Like, no, don't do that. You don't get to just tell people that this is a bad movie because of something that happened that isn't even in anyone's control. That's not the movie's fault. It's not the movie's fault. Don't discredit people. Anyways, I'm gonna go watch Sonic at some point. Oh, I was supposed to watch it today. Oh, dang. Okay, well, Harley Quinn and the Fantabulous... No, Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Super great movie. My sibling loved it. I loved it. It was fun. It was just a fun movie to go watch. It's not like PG friendly exactly, but it's fun. It's a good movie. And I'm sorry that it's rated R, so like teens can't watch it. I feel like for people 14 and up, that's kind of the thing that seems like the kind of thing that would be enjoyable by 14 and up. I don't really feel like it needs to be 18 and up. I really don't, because it wasn't that graphic, except for like those 2 times. I don't think they said the F-bomb, but I don't remember. But I'm sure if they did, I would have remembered, you know? I don't know. But definitely go watch it. I mean, you don't have to watch it. I liked it. If you're gonna rent it on Redbox, that's fine. If you want to buy it afterwards, that's fine too. It's a great movie. I feel like I should have talked about this earlier, because, I mean, it's almost out of theaters for sure by now, but great movie. Definitely recommend.